Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Telarus Tuesday call for July 23rd, 2019. Fun fact, depending on where you lived and which service provider you used, you probably were first introduced to caller ID somewhere between 1984 and 1989. So it's essentially the 30-year anniversary of this product for most of us. I'm Doug Miller, the voice of Telarus, and I'm encouraging approval of another telecom product to make all of our lives better. Caller IQ. Now, this about time service features a user determined threshold setting which measures the intelligence of a caller through a brief series of questions and tasks. If the caller doesn't pass the IQ test, they're disconnected before our phone ever rings. This is how we stop annoying spam. This is how we stop my brother-in-law. And this is how we stop robocalls. Caller IQ, built on the one test everybody hopes comes back positive. Hopefully it's coming to market soon. On today's call, I'll be joined by our friends from BullsEye Telecom. BullsEye's been helping clients stay connected for 20 years. They know that secure communications are critical to business performance. The Internet of Things, or IoT, is already delivering on the promised data and the resulting automation, monitoring, efficiencies, and savings. But IoT is also dependent on security. And today, industry veterans Jim McHale and Mark Sondergaard will discuss BullsEye Secure IoT and how your clients can build solutions for any use case. Secure IoT from BullsEye. That presentation is coming up in just moments. Also on today's call, we'll welcome a new Telarus supplier. It's China Mobile International. They provide a full range of comprehensive international mobility services, including international direct dialing, roaming, internet, mobile network code services, and value-added business across the globe. This is a particularly exciting new relationship for Telarus partners. You'll find out more about China Mobile International. That introduction is also coming up in just moments. As always, we invite you to move to the center of each aisle, refrain from any photography or video recordings. Remember that each of us is unique, just like everybody else. And please log in to our chat and live platform to see all of today's valuable information and to submit your questions and comments for today's presenters. There is some background noise. If you are live, if you'd mute yourself so that we can eliminate that, and we'll go from there. Each week, we update our President's Club opportunities, and boom, chaka-laka-laka boom, it simply gets better every week. Our suppliers continue to help make it easy for you to qualify for this year's Telarus President's Club Award. Let's take that slide. We'll be taking qualifying partners next March to an amazing getaway at the all-inclusive Secrets Vallarta Bay Resort in beautiful Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. There are so many ways to qualify for this trip. You can either sell a combined 100K in Telarus MRR, or by selling a specified amount with one of the individual sponsoring suppliers shown here on your screen. There are some terrific and easy ways to qualify. You don't want to miss this opportunity to join Telarus next year in Puerto Vallarta for the 2019 Telarus President's Club. And we are just 2 weeks away now from our 8th annual Telarus Partner Summit, the premier event for Telarus partners. Hundreds of partners and suppliers will meet in Aurora, Colorado at the brand new Gaylord Rockies Luxury Resort, August 7th through the 10th. One goal for this multi-day conference, that is to train and empower you, our partners, to be the go-to technology expert your clients need. That is how businesses are grown. This year, our event features a Top Gun theme, where the best come to learn the sales tactics needed to become dangerous to their competition. We're celebrating the 50th anniversary of Top Gun, the U.S. Navy Strike Fighter Tactics Instructor Program, and we will offer a fleet of training sessions focused on charting a course for technology transformation. This year's keynote speakers include Top Gun co-founder Captain Dan Pedersen, who helped reshape the nation's military strategy for generations to follow. And also Captain Charlie Plum, who flew the first adversarial flights in the development of what would become Top Gun. He also spent 6 years as a prisoner of war. Helping us sponsor this year's event are more than 70 of our suppliers. There is no better place to meet one-on-one with executives and channel chiefs from our suppliers and from your Telarus team. We'll strategize together about growing your business. Plus, we've got dine-arounds, exhibits, panels, the casino night, and many other ways to learn what Telarus and our suppliers offer and how to best engage with our resources. There's a new Telarus technology reveal. It'll change the way you do business. Epic training, including work with our engineers on the hottest industry technologies, so much more. Not to mention more than $10,000 in prizes and a raffle among all attendees at the awards dinner for a Peloton bike at the event's end. Want you to stay Saturday as well for an incredible and adventurous networking activity of your choice. Now, registration continues, but you've got to hurry to get in. We are just about full, and time is short. Let us know if you're going to be coming to the Telarus Partner Summit. You can contact us either online at telarus.com/PS, as in Partner Summit, or just give us a call and let us know. We'll make sure you're taken care of. And we'll see you in 2 weeks for this incomparable event. It is the Telarus Partner Summit coming up in just 2 weeks. You know, I just saw a trailer this week for a sequel to the original Top Gun movie. Seriously, it's going to be out next year, and so far, looks like pretty good stuff. All right, time for our weekly calendar. Upcoming local and regional events as we continue to travel the country, featuring opportunities and events to help educate and involve our partners with our fast-growing and changing industry. This week, it's a series of boot camps designed to provide you with the deep dive knowledge and expertise you need to have a conversation with your clients around these essential services. Today, the Telarus Contact Center Boot Camp is in Los Angeles at Maggiano's Little Italy at the Grove. We go from 10 until 2 today, training partners on the immense and growing contact center opportunity and the solutions available to provide the customer experience your clients are seeking. Our panel of experts for this training features Serenova, Genesis, Nice in Contact, and Customer Dynamics. That's today, beginning at 10 a.m. in LA. We are also conducting 2 cloud boot camps this week in Texas. Everyone knows that cloud is king, but it's the migration path to the cloud which frustrates many businesses. During our cloud boot camp, you're going to learn how to quickly identify opportunities, suggest and design the needed solutions, and secure the help needed to successfully move your clients to cloud services. Now, tomorrow, Wednesday, the Telarus Cloud Boot Camp will be in Austin from noon until 4 p.m. at the North by Northwest restaurant. Our trainers there will include the solution experts from RapidScale, CBTS, and Evolve IP. Then on Thursday, our Cloud Boot Camp moves to Houston from noon until 4 p.m. at Maggiano's Little Italy, where we will be trained by the pros from Data Canopy, RapidScale, and Ariaka. Great events this week. You can see our full schedule with all of our upcoming opportunities to register or RSVP at Telarus.com events. Well, today I have the honor of introducing a brand new Telarus supplier. It's China Mobile International. They provide a full range of comprehensive international mobility services, international direct dialing, roaming, internet, mobile network code services, and value-added business across the globe. JY is China Mobile's International's Channel Director. He joins me now to introduce this exciting new partnership. JY, welcome to our Telarus Tuesday call.
Thank you very much, Doug. Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is JY, and I represent China Mobile International USA. So China Mobile is actually a Tier 1 global premium ISP that covers international footprint. We offer flexible, secure, reliable connectivities, network, cloud services for international clients with very much strategic focus in China and Asia Pacific. So China Mobile was actually established in 2000, and we are traded on both New York Exchange as well as Hong Kong Exchange with a yearly revenue of $100 billion, ranking Fortune 40, within 47 actually last year, and 500,000 employees globally. So today is our great pleasure and honor to join this call. I'm very much looking forward to working with every one of you in this Telarus family. And then meanwhile, tomorrow, I want to promote our call a little bit. Tomorrow, we're going to host a training sessions in which we'll talk about several things. Firstly, we'll talk about the China market, including the regulations, including the products availabilities, and the selling strategies. Secondly, we'll talk about the practices of enterprise network. So what other people are doing in that specific market in each industry. So we'll have a rundown of different practices there. And thirdly, is how China Mobile can equip you with the right knowledge and can educate you or can be your consulting power to help you to win there. So this is it. This is about China Mobile. Just very happy to join you guys here.
JY, we're happy to have you on the call and very excited about the new partnership that we have with China Mobile International. As our partners know, everything is moving toward international business. It's become such a huge part of the Telarus portfolio, and so many of our partners have opportunities to do business across the globe. China Mobile is one of the largest competitors in this market, and it's important to get to know not only the market there, but the other international opportunities that you can help them with. We're very much looking forward to the chance to get to meet you and find out more about China Mobile tomorrow, July 24th. It happens at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. You'll want to be sure and join us for the introduction and launch call for our new partnership with China Mobile. JY, thank you very much for your time today. We're very excited for this new partnership.
Same here. Thank you very much, Doug.
You bet. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Absolutely.
All right. It is time for our weekly partner sales recognition. Some shout outs to some of our highest performing Telarus partners who put up some of the top wins during the past weeks. And I don't usually announce amounts of the sales on the call, and I won't today, but you ought to know that these are huge. Some of the biggest I have seen in quite a while. So take note. These are great sales to take a look at and find out how you can replicate. Taking our third place honors this week, Telarus congratulates the team at Next Wave Solutions. They're out of San Diego, California. Next Wave posted an earth-shaking sale, see what I did there, of managed services from RapidScale to a client in the real estate lending industry. RapidScale's fully managed cloud solutions make it easy to integrate applications, users, accessibility, and efficiency into a business of any size and any industry. The Next Wave Solutions team provides strategic guidance to assist their clients in assessing technology platforms for cloud enablement. They can help clients co-manage those solutions as an extension of the client's team. Our congratulations to Next Wave Solutions. This is simply an outstanding RapidScale win. In second place this week, we congratulate Darlene Stevens, Todd Goringe, and all of the team at Elite Telecom Solutions, LLC. They're here in nearby Draper, Utah. The Elite team closed a tremendous sale of SIP services from AirSpring to a client in the marketing services arena. AirSpring SIP services are fast, scalable, affordable, and they're available everywhere. It's the solution your clients are looking for to enable UC capabilities while simplifying their network and reducing expenses. Elite Telecom Solutions offers their clients strong carrier partnerships and a detailed understanding of client network needs to provide the value-added consulting and strong ongoing support their clients can count on. Our congratulations to Elite Telecom Solutions on this phenomenal AirSpring sale. Taking the top position this week, Telarus thanks and congratulates the very large and impressive team at Carousel Industries in Exeter, Rhode Island. The Carousel Industries team closed a massive sale of fiber Ethernet services from GTT to a client in the vision care industry. Bandwidth-intensive services and applications are core to global business. GTT's suite of transport and infrastructure services provides highly scalable bandwidth and low latency connectivity to financial markets, data centers, and business hubs around the world. Carousel Industries helps drive innovation in their clients' businesses by delivering the ultimate client experience and providing differentiated services. Whether optimizing today's technology or migrating to tomorrow's, Carousel helps clients move forward. Our congratulations to Carousel Industries on this outstanding GTT sale. It is our top Telarus sale of the week. As I mentioned, these are fantastic wins, and after a record-setting sales month in June, our partners are having another terrific month in July. What a way to begin the third quarter. Thanks to all of our partners for continuing to trust Telarus with your business. As we always say, Telarus is built for you. Okay, story time. Once there was a wealthy and curious king. No, his name was not Chris Schubert. He decided to test his subjects to determine which would spare some time for the kingdom's progress. The king had a huge boulder placed right in the middle of the main road, and he hid nearby to see if anyone would attempt to remove that obstacle. He saw some wealthy merchants and professionals passing by, but none made an attempt to move away the boulder. They simply walked away while blaming the king for not maintaining the roads. Later, a peasant came by, Oborn by name, I believe, with a load of vegetables and saw the boulder blocking the way. The peasant set down his load and after strenuous effort was able to move the boulder out of the way. It was then that he saw an ornate purse where the boulder had been. That purse contained many gold bitcoins and a note from the king which read, "This is the reward for the person who moves the boulder." The moral: don't let Doug have a lot of free time on the Tuesday call, but also many walk away from problems, obstacles, and opportunities. But to those who see an opportunity in the obstacle, that's often the opportunity to greatly improve the condition. Invest the time to remove the obstacles in your way. The rewards could be as valuable as the king's purse. And with that, here is this week's training calendar, your chance to move the obstacles in your way. 4 excellent opportunities being featured on the call. Today, Tuesday, beginning at 1 p.m. Eastern, Ariaka is providing outstanding SD-WAN training, eliminating the blind spots. SD-WAN performance issues can either be caused by network or by applications. With an end-to-end managed SD-WAN service, an integrated approach gives the visibility that is needed to better understand how the WAN is performing. This Ariaka presentation demonstrates how a managed SD-WAN service can eliminate the visibility gaps, which elements need to be monitored, and why, and the tools that are available to make the most of an SD-WAN investment. Join Ariaka today at 1 p.m. Eastern to hear this valuable presentation. Right afterward, today at 2 p.m. Eastern, Evolve IP is presenting special training on the Cisco Teams collaboration engine. Now, Cisco is a major player in the market, in the worldwide UC market. They have tremendous advantages in this market, including their 20,000 Cisco sales reps, consultants, and VARs. They're driving customer behavior through a program called Flex, which enables existing Cisco customers to migrate from premise to the cloud. And during this special Evolve IP training, you're going to learn about the Cisco opportunity, including Flex and the current BroadSoft platform. You'll learn how to participate in the Cisco sales process. Join Evolve IP for this tremendous presentation. It happens today at 2 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow, Wednesday, July 24th, as discussed earlier, be certain to join Telarus at 11 a.m. Eastern for the official launch and training call of our newest Telarus supplier, China Mobile International. They provide that full range of comprehensive international services, including international direct dialing, roaming, internet, mobile network code services, value-added business. They do it across the globe. That launch call happens tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern. And then this Thursday, July 25th at 4 p.m. Eastern, it's AirSpring Global SD-WAN training. Your clients can mix and match using AirSpring for the right solution. they've launched a global SD-WAN offering built on both over-the-top and global private network solutions. AirSpring changes the game as to how SD-WAN is delivered, and this training discusses the key factors of a global private network and the components and pricing elements involved in the solution, how to identify the opportunities, and how the AirSpring Global team assists you in closing those deals. It's AirSpring Global SD-WAN. It's customized to your client's use case. You'll join this special training. It happens Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern. The details and registration links for these and for many other live and recorded learning opportunities, they're all in your Telarus partner back office at agent.telarus.com. Some of the newest and best spiffs that you want to be aware of are also featured each week here on our call. Here are three you'll want to take note of. First up, from TPX, an array of valuable spiffs available throughout July, from 1x MRC all the way up to 5x MRC bonuses available. Just sell from a large number of TPX solutions on 3-year agreements. You'll cash in with these huge July bonuses. 1x applies to Office 365 subscriptions or qualifying multi-site MPLS. There's 2x available for UCX Smart Voice with 5 or more clients. 4x MRC bonuses are available for MSX, Managed WAN, and LAN with Office 365. And how about 5x for MSX Managed Firewall, Endpoints, and Backup? Huge opportunities. Take advantage throughout July from TPX. And next, Comcast Business is turning up the heat with their Business Internet Summer Spiff. You can now earn up to 2x MRR on new Comcast Business Internet orders. This spiff runs through August 21st. You can earn 1x for every new Comcast Business Internet sale by selling a minimum of 3 qualifying sales per month during the incentive period. Or you can earn a 2x MRR on multi-site deals of 5 or more locations associated with a single customer per month. You don't want to let this lucrative spiff pass you by. It's our Comcast Business Internet Summer Spiff. And finally, from CenturyLink, it's their Security Now incentive, and it's simple. Through December, sell CenturyLink Managed Security and earn a 1x MRC payout. CenturyLink's end-to-end managed security services are built to detect, protect, and respond to security threats and malicious activity virtually anywhere that your clients do business. It's customized for their needs. Just sell enable net new managed security solutions and enjoy that 1x MRC spiff in the process. It's a terrific reward from CenturyLink now through the end of the year. These and many more fantastic deals from our supplier can all be found at promo.telarus.com. Well, as mentioned earlier, our featured presentation on today's call is from BullsEye Telecom. BullsEye's been helping clients stay connected for 20 years. They just celebrated their anniversary. BullsEye knows that secure communications are critical to business performance. The Internet of Things, or IoT, is already delivering on the promised data and the resulting automation, monitoring, efficiencies, and savings. But IoT is also dependent on security. Today, Jim McHale is a BullsEye Solutions Engineer. Mark Sondergaard is the National Director for Partner Sales. These are 2 industry veterans, longtime friends of Telarus and our partners. They join us today to discuss secure IoT from BullsEye. Mark, Jim, welcome to our Telarus Tuesday call. How are you guys?
Good morning. Nice to be here. It's quite a follow-up. Got a follow-up to what you're doing, Doug. That's quite a rendition you got going there.
Well, we had to eliminate the musical number for time today, but I appreciate it. Thanks.
I felt like I was on The Price is Right, a game show. I love it. Glad to be here.
Come on down.
That's right.
We're glad to have you guys here. This is such an important aspect of the business that partners need to consider. In BullsEye, they've long been known for many things, but IoT is something that's a little bit new, and we want to make sure our partners understand why this is so critical.
Fantastic. Yeah, we want to let everybody show everybody what we're doing, how we're doing it, and what we're doing today is BullsEye. We're a lot different than others may have known us in the past. So we're going to walk you through this, but Jim McHale is our one of our solutions engineers. He's going to be doing a majority of this presentation. We also have Brian Babbage on the call with us. He's our VP of the channel, and he's going to say a few quick words also. But if we can go to the next slide. I just wanted to give everybody a little overview of who we are today. A lot of people know us as BullsEye, the sleepy pots company from the Midwest, and we're not that company. We are investing in technology. We still sell a lot of pots, and that gets our foot in the door with a lot of large organizations. But we moved into the cloud. We sell Zscaler for cloud security. That's not the only provider out there doing that. SD-WAN with VeloCloud. We've been selling VoIP and SIP services since 2004, when we brought our BroadSoft. So we've been doing cloud a long, long time, along with our broadband and POTS service aggregation that we do. So we're not that POTS company that you know us only as. We're a technology force now, and selling a lot of this to large multi-location organizations that need to be connected and know what's going on within their organizations, and being able to track things. And that's what a lot of this talk on the IoT is going to be about. One of the other things I want going on out there called the golden ticket, and it's a way for you to double your spiff dollars on all the products that we have. So we will be if you need more information on that, I know that it's out on the website, but it's also to contact your regional strategic partner managers, and they'll be more than glad to help you with anything you need, and to tell you more about golden ticket. So I'm going to turn it over to Brian real quick, and he's got a few words he'd like to say, and then Jim will take it off with the IoT discussion.
Great. Thanks, Mark. Good morning, everyone. This is Brian Babbage, Vice President of Sales here at BullsEye. And I've been around BullsEye for almost 15 years now, so I've seen a lot when we talk to people that might think of us as that. But so, as Mark said, we have 6 main pillars with our POTS, SD-WAN, broadband, IoT, cloud security. So the combination of those, I just wanted to add really quick, is really powerful. And this is just really a commercial for hopefully a follow-up meeting, because it sparks something in you that you think would be valuable. So I won't go into all of this, but we have a 5-step process that's really important for partners to know, because as I travel and Mark travel, we travel the country and we sit with the high-level folks at these big companies. This process really helps them wrap their arms around what we can do for them and what differentiates BullsEye. And it's simply laying out, and underneath each one of these pillars here, prospects through that process from the left to the right. It really opens up a lot of opportunity for additional products, etc. And the last thing I'll say really quick here before I turn it to James is, yes, we still sell a lot of POTS lines, thousands and thousands of POTS lines a month. There's still a place for that, but where there's really a place is BullsEye's ability, being that for 15 years, we've had our own hosted product, whether it's SIP or integrated, whatever whatever fits the client the best, but the ability to meet them where they're at in an analog environment and then show them a succession plan over to IP is huge. And we win some of our largest deals and differentiate ourselves against our other aggregator competitors, because we tell that story of meet you where you're at, clean you up, stage your inventory, and get you to where you need to go in your time under one roof. So again, I just wanted to throw that out there because it's really valuable, and I see that as a real needle mover in our business, and I believe that that's probably something you might identify where BullsEye could be a fit. So thanks for the opportunity to introduce myself and share a couple quick nuggets there. I'll turn it over to James now.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it. Perfect, guys. Give a little heads up. We're going to focus pretty much and read out literally word for word on this slide, and then we're going to kind of go into some stories. And the rest of the deck, which I hope is going to be shared with everybody, Doug, is really for them to be able to review. It's a good sampling of what our IoT sensors are out there. These are some of the more utilized ones, but we have partners that we have over 200 and some plus sensors, and they're able to create new sensors if the demand is high enough. Let's talk about secure IoT. Internet of Things, or IoT, is a system of interrelated computing devices, mechanical, digital machines, objects, animals, or peoples, that are provided with unique identifiers and the ability to transfer data over a network without requiring human-to-human or human-to-computer interaction. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about any kind of procedure that goes on where there is a check on something that needs to be documented and then eventually reported on. So it's pretty wide out there what we're talking about. So what we're offering is the ability to connect, collect, store, and analyze that device data, and then be able to utilize the sensors and the gateways and then the portal where the reporting kind of goes in, or the integration of that data into an existing CRM or other type of databases that may want to utilize that data. Let me give you a couple examples of real world customers that we're dealing with already out there. Some of them are in the food industry. I can list off like Tim Hortons, Domino's, some of their partners out there, or the franchisees of Domino's. We have some franchisees of also McAllister's Delis. You say, well, what are they doing out there? Well, we're doing everything from door sensors that are going on the refrigerator and the freezer. To be honest, there was a thing going on where the door was being left open and the temperature kept dropping on the donut dough for Tim Hortons, and they couldn't figure out what was going on and why the temperature kept dropping. Well, once they had the sensors deployed and stuff, we could see that the baker that was coming at 3 in the morning, when he was getting ready, he decided it was easier to prop open the freezer door during the whole time while he was going in and out. And so they figured out the pattern quickly to say, oh, this is what's going on. We need to adjust this. We can enforce this type scenario. But also for Tim Hortons and Domino's, we're also doing heat sensors. Now that can be the temperature in ovens and cooking, and that can also be the cold side that's in the refrigerator, the freezer, or the food bins themselves that as you're preparing front. These are all things that have to be measured and recorded because of government regulations around food. So the fact that it can be automated and made simple, it doesn't get missed. It doesn't get missed by an individual. It doesn't get forgotten. It's not off by so many times and then fudged, where a lot of human type pieces going back and forth. That happens day to day. This is automated, automatic, and it makes it really easy for reporting type scenarios. McAllister's Deli, we're doing a little bit something different with one of their franchisees. This is for the to-go orders. They have X amount of parking spaces that are designated where you can pull up and get your to-go order. Well, we're putting in sensors that are ground sensors that are identifying that are actually going to be in the little drive-up bumper, the parking side there. Just a little hole in the bottom where there'll be a down attached. They have a 5-year battery attached to them, so they only have to be changed out every 5 years. So it makes it really easy and convenient. Well, what that sensor is going to do is notify the software inside that a customer has pulled up, and then it is going to identify to open up the camera that is focused on that shot. So there's a snapshot of that picture that goes to the thing, and it's also going to start a timer so they know how long that customer's been sitting there. So these are all functions that we've designed and worked with them because there is an engineering part of this. What we try to do is arm you the understanding that it comes with sensors, which are going to be devices that attach to each individual piece. And then there's going to be gateways where those sensors are going to talk back to. Now, the gateways can be tied down to any kind of network if we want to do LTE wireless directly that way, or if we want to do it to the current internet connection. Now, the key being is it gives you that flexibility of talking back and forth that way. Other types of scenarios you may want to say, well, what else is out there? I mean, really, it's where your imagination is where it is, because I'll give you some scenarios just in some industries. Retail, let's say something door opening and closing. That could be dressing rooms in retail locations. We could look at water detection sensors. So back room where stuff is stored, and certain areas of the country that may have flooding, prone to flooding from during the rain season. I'm sure there's a lot of customers out there right now going, man, I wish I had a sensor that would have notified me for that back area flooded, because it ruined all my inventory. Another scenario would be food distribution. We're talking about these cold sensors. A big one is Kroger's distribution centers. We're talking to Kroger just a couple months back, and they have at their local regional distribution warehouses where they distribute to all the grocery stores where they store it before it gets to there. Ice cream alone is all stored in one freezer type scenario. If that freezer goes down more than for 8 minutes, they've got to throw away all the ice cream that's in there. And we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of ice cream, because if it gets beyond that point, once it gets back up to temperature, you get that freezer burn and it's unacceptable. So there's food distribution. You've got medical, where you could be looking at gas flow sensors, CO2 sensors, pressure sensors, door sensors again, bed sensors, asset tracking sensors. I'm just trying to spark the imagination, guys, because there is really so many different pieces out there that you could be doing. Another industry would be shipping and trucking. We have that asset sensors again, pressure plates, and accelerometers. So there's all kinds of pieces out there that could be. And if they're not out there and there's a high enough demand for it, a couple of our partners are willing to actually create new sensors. That is their gig. Is the whole thing is to focus on the sensor part of it. That's kind of it in a nutshell, guys. I mean, like I said, there is a large continuous deck. I am not going to beat you through every sensor, but hopefully this deck, Doug, is being shared with everybody that's on the call.
It will be. Of course, the call is recorded every week, and by the end of today, you should have it available in your Telarus partner back office, where you can see and hear everything that was discussed. We actually just had a question come in as to whether there's an information sheet listing out all of these different types of sensors. And yes, essentially these slides that you have today talk about many of the different types which are presently available. But as you mentioned, they're not really limited to these alone, but there are always new applications being considered.
That is absolutely correct. And this is actually not even a complete list of all the sensors. I will get a complete list out and we can get it on to you guys as well. But this was a highlight of the most common sensors out there that we're starting to see demand for.
Now there are,
Mark. I think it's important everybody knows that this is only as limited to what you guys and what your customers can think of what they need to track. There's a sensor for almost everything out there, and it comes down to when we're working with these large organizations that are dispersed in many areas, they need to be able to have view and see how things are being done, and that things are being done in a common way across the board. And sometimes a sensor can do that, and it really saves these organizations a lot of time and money. On that Tim Hortons one with the refrigeration door that was left open, they had spent like $8,500 trying to figure out what was wrong with that refrigeration unit when it was some guy just leaving the door open. So if you think about that, if they owned 30 of these and they did that at 30 locations, it's some real money involved. So,
Jim, we've got a couple of other slides here that do show a few of those different types of sensors. Do you want to pull ahead here and just pick out one or two that you think are particularly interesting? We could walk our partners through a couple of scenarios.
Each one's kind of self-explainable, but we actually can grab a few. Let's start what we got right now. We've got temperature, the thermocoupler, which is going to be our oven type probes and degrees. And then we've got humidity sensors. Let's talk about, data type areas or electronics where the humidity gets too high and we want to know when that humidity is set off, like right now. We know that if you're anywhere in the southern part of the United States, these air conditioners are chugging, trying to keep it close to a reasonable temperature, which in some areas, if the AC units are up in roof and attic type areas, the difference where the ducts are starting could be as much as 45, 50-degree swing, which creates humidity and moisture buildup. So with some humidity and moisture sensors, you could be in front of that type scenario and getting alarms when it's starting to begin, not when it's piled up and become a problem and you've got an issue on your hands. If you want to scroll down, we could take a look at a couple other here. Water detect and open door close, and a rope water one that's also for certain lines. So we could see that, and that comes from anywhere 10-foot sections all the way up to 100-foot sections. Let's talk about notifications as it's being highlighted there. It could be email, voice, or SMX text. And one other piece we really didn't touch on that I should touch on is the reason that we focus it as being secure IoT. When you work with BullsEye, our engineers are going to design to ensure that the security of this data is also taken into consideration. So for the customers that are specifically looking for that encrypted, that secure data back, we're going to make sure that that data routes back through encrypted AES 256 SHA-2 type tunnels. So that is where that secure portion of it comes in. If you guys, Doug, if you want to scroll down, we can highlight a couple other ones possibly. Okay, we're getting into motion detection and carbon monoxide gas sensors and wireless dry contact switches. Keep on rolling. Let's talk a little bit about them. These a lot are very self-explanatory, and we can kind of use our imagination. Accelerometers. Okay, so we all see those now built into our phones. That's how we can download those applications where we actually can have a speedometer on our phone and see how fast we're going and what direction and all that shifting. These are absolutely different pieces that we could utilize in the shipping and trucking type industry. Also in warehousing. So certain things that would be being moved up, down, and stuff on shelves to be able to track. The accelerometer is great for things like that. We have voltage meters. You may say, well, what's a way we could use a voltage meter? Well, I could give you a perfect one. If I want to know that there's an instantaneously a line down, even if I'm monitoring a simple phone line, well, that phone line requires voltage to go through it. When that voltage drops, I automatically get a sensor if that line went down. There's also larger voltage for more industrial. If we keep on moving, let's see what else we have on the sensor list. More voltage stuff. This gets into specific type pieces of voltage. Let's keep going. We've got current and pulse counters. Let's keep going. I want to get to some more of the interesting stuff. We've got seat meters and stuff. Hopefully we'll get to some of these. Here we are starting getting into light and voltage detections and resistance sensors when we're getting into resistance. Keep on going. Pressure, activity, light detection, magnetic detection. This is actually interesting. This would be very interesting in some of the warehouse type scenarios. As we started to get more and more of the automation of the warehouses, this is where the wireless magnet detection sensors will come into play a lot. There's the asset, which I referenced before, being able to track different assets. There's also just a wireless button sensor, where if you want to be able to get somebody's attention and be able to bring them into it, there can be a button. I'll give you an example of that. We saw something very similar years ago in the Home Depots, where you could walk in a certain section, if it was the woods area or whatever, you'd hit a button and it would send out a notification and at the same time set off an alert type scenario. Keep on rolling, Doug, if you don't mind. Seat occupancy. There's all kinds of things you could be looking into this. Movie theaters come right off the top. You get into dining area, anywhere that you want to be able to track how many people are sitting where type scenarios. Gains per pound, differential air pressures. Let's see what else we have. I think we've got a couple more. Air quality, CO2, ultrasonic. Ultrasonic's interesting. We can actually do quite a few different things with the ultrasonics, and being able to measure distances and also the density of certain things, which in industries actually come in to be, for instance, when they're looking at sensors that are coming through certain boxes that they want to see the density of the material that's going through that for regulations. These are ultrasonic sensors that could do such things.
I so wish I could go back to my ninth grade science class where the answer on the final exam or the question was how to tell the height of a tall building with a barometer. These days, I could just say I would use my industrial ultrasonic sensor from BullsEye.
Very good. Yes, sir. That would be a perfect example. So we've got also air velocity, flex sensors that are, it's a ribbon that's the bend, how much bend and a force is being applied to that. There's also an industrial versus the commercial where it's a little bit more sensitive, we'll say, in it, and of course there's a little bit higher price to it because of the sensitivity of it. Keeping on moving. Back into some power, we have a 3-phase current meter for industrial, for shops that want to make sure that their 3-phase is running correctly and that there's no issues or drops in it. Compass is another one that we can do with tracking, and if that is in trucking or shipment or warehousing, there are pieces that go with that. Liquid level sensors for the height and how could be something as states that are measuring their rivers to see how high they are rising and falling at bridges and different areas of that. It's where we could look at metric, cities and counties and states at that level. And guys, that is a sampling of some of the IoT sensors out there that we offer. Like I said, we have actually over 200 plus sensors that are in the list, and we have vendors and partners out there that are willing to create new sensors for us if the right demand is out there for it. I appreciate you giving me a couple of minutes of our time, and I'm open to answer any other questions.
Oh, thank you. We're talking with Jim McHale. We've also got Brian Bavich here and Mark Sondergaard. They're the professionals from BullsEye Telecom. We're talking about IoT today. Jim, this is a fascinating presentation. As I went through it yesterday, just letting my imagination wander a little bit, it's incredible when you think of the number of ways that data are being collected now. Almost every place we go and in almost everything that we do, there's some sort of monitoring that is taking place. And as you list through these different types of sensors and gateways that are available, you can begin to see the opportunities for use in any business to take advantage of this. What BullsEye really does, if I'm understanding correctly, is to offer our clients the chance to take a look at their business, decide which items could be monitored, which ways we could use these various sensors to gather data and information, which could help us better understand our customers, the way that they use our products and services, and then find ways to grow our business through the use of those data. And boy, you just take a look at the fields. You listed off in just talking about several of the sensors, theaters, for example, all sorts of entertainment industries. We talked about retail. We talked about manufacturing. We talked about all sorts of different products and services that could benefit from this type of technology. What are the best ways for a partner sitting in front of a client who's talking, let's say, about their bandwidth and about their network, to pivot this conversation into a discussion of IoT and how it could benefit them?
I have found that really it starts with, what are you tracking right now? What regulatory pieces are asking you to track right now on a daily basis or a weekly basis in their industry? And that's usually where that conversation starts, because a lot of them are going to start there. Then the other piece is to directly ask them, do you have some IoT initiatives that you've considered? Or what would that dream look like? What are you looking to try to accomplish? Because a lot of people are out there already dreaming. And that's really what it is. For most people, it's a dream. They're not quite sure where the walls are and what defines this. So they're going, wouldn't it be cool if? And a lot of the things we can say, yes, we can actually do that now. And it's all about data collection and taking that data collection and creating analytics off of that data to improve the customer experience, the business experience, the flow, or just ensuring that it's done correctly without the human error of traditional.
So you talked earlier about the ways that notifications can come as these sensors monitor the various types of data that are there. Mary asks a great question on our Q&A line. Would the customer then have to have some sort of interface, whether that's online or otherwise, to be able to manage not only the data that are gathered, but the devices themselves and the associated thresholds and alerts and so forth?
There's absolutely portals that'll be available that we will help co-manage, but there's portals out there that'll let you gather that data. There's also pieces that we work with our vendors if you want to integrate that into it. So there may not be a human piece per se. There'll be logs of it in the portal. There'll be all these notifications, but it may also be something that hands off to an existing system that we can hook into. So it may be data that goes from machine to machine, and that information is handing off directly and then continuing a process that was designed in their other machine. You see what I'm saying? It's a data handoff that then their system will take it and do further with it. So the answer to the question is there's absolutely a portal. You can get notifications through the portal, you logging in, looking at that way, but you'll get notified through SMS, text, email, and phone. You can get different notifications that way.
Forbes put out a really interesting article last year as IoT was really beginning to gain ground, and talking about just the benefits to customers of becoming involved with this. They really highlighted the idea that IoT provides a way for us to better understand our customers, because with that understanding comes the ways that we can create new business lines, improve the customer experience, and just provide greater efficiencies overall within the business, all because of this data. Rather than being something that was just intrusive, it talked about those benefits to the clients. That's really the way this has to be sold, isn't it? Focus on how you can grow your business, better understand your customers through the use of this technology.
Absolutely, you're dead on, Doug.
That's fantastic. I'm intrigued by the uses for this. There's also a part of me, and I think many people, that says, wow, does that just become intrusive in some way? But the fact is that it seems like in our society and in our world, the data are being collected anyway. We can either use them to grow and make things better, or we can fear it and run away from it, but it seems like we'll be passed by our competitors. How do you help resolve in a client's mind maybe some of the fear and perception that they have associated with data gathering and these types of these monitoring systems?
Well, first of all, being that it's a secure IoT, we can say that the data is secured first off to ensure that the right people are getting access to the data that is being collected, that it's not being bled out or misused in that type scenario. And it's exactly right. It's letting everybody, reaffirming to them that it is a reality of what we live in. Data collection is going on 24/7. It doesn't matter where you are. If that's camera systems, if that's, IoT tracking, or if that's just, use of credit card spending of where you're going. But everybody's being tracked, and there's a profile out there. And now, traditionally, for the millennials that are now, believe it or not, stepping up to even middle management, they have no issue whatsoever. They're comfortable with it. They don't see a problem with it. It's people that are more of a little bit my age and a little bit older that are out there that are not as comfortable per se. But the reality is, data is out there. The question is, if it's going to be used responsibly. And that's the thing. Remember, we're collecting the data. They're going to be the customer, the controller of that data in the end, and explain them as long as the data is used responsibly and certain opt-outs, if in certain scenarios that can be set up, I think it's really easy to get them to a comfort level where they understand. And they do understand that they will be left behind, because this is where the industry is going.
And more so than the fear aspect of it in terms of being left behind, it is such a compelling value proposition for enterprises. It allows them to know what they need to know to be able to drive the business transformation that they need. Businesses cannot remain stagnant in today's economy, and this can point the way in which a business should go to remain viable and relevant and functional in today's economy.
Doug, I like to call it empowering analytics is what you're looking at. The data that you're going to come back with is going to empower them to make better decisions.
That's just a great way to look at it. This is such a phenomenal offering, and obviously from the list that you showed, and this is only a portion of what is available, but so many ways to configure a way to gather the appropriate data for a customer's business. Such a great opportunity to discuss this with clients. What resources does BullsEye provide to help a partner in those discussions? If they're looking at a particular need or an opportunity there, how do they get BullsEye involved in that conversation?
Well, you start out by reaching out to your SPM, which is our channel managers, that the correct one for that relationship-wise. And from there, we will engage somebody like me or another sales engineer will engage, and we're the resource. We're the ones that are going to sit down. And then as we dig in deeper, if I need to bring in SMEs from my partner side that we're partnered with, we bring them in as well, and we have deeper discussions, and we dive in, and we actually project manage through the solution set.
Jim, great presentation today. Exciting opportunity. This information will be available, of course, on our recorded version of the call, available later today in our partner's back office. Mark Sondergaard, wanted to get back to you one more time before we call it a day. Anything that you'd like to add to all of that?
No, I think James did a really good job here, and really hopefully opened up people's eyes to what's available, and that your mind's the only thing that is limiting you on this type of service. So think of BullsEye when you're thinking about some of these technologies out there, and what we can do to help you out.
That's fantastic. Thanks, guys, for being here today. Jim McHale, Mark Sondergaard, Brian Babbage, thank you for being here today as well. We appreciate our partnership with BullsEye. What a tremendous opportunity to have this conversation with your clients. Don't forget them for all of those aggregated POTS lines and the other products and services for which they have become so famous over the years. We really appreciate that partnership. That's it. We're out of time. I've got to go, but our thanks to BullsEye today. Join us again tomorrow for the launch of our partnership with China Mobile International as well. We appreciate each of you joining our call. If you have suggestions for our call, send them to marketing@telarus.com. Get registered today for Partner Summit. You don't want to miss this, and we will be back next Tuesday with more. Till then, I'm Doug Miller, the voice of Telarus. Have a great selling week, everyone.